To me, Johan is the perfect villain. I feel like, and when I say perfect, not like he's the greatest, but he's the most well-rounded villain. If I could be any anime character without powers, I would be Johan. I would do so much work. Oh my! If I could, the work I could do as Johan would be yo.
Any anime character without powers?
Yo, if I could have, if I could have like their intellect / abilities without powers, like just their intellect, I'd choose Johan.
Don't you remember?
With that said, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to do top 10. Let's do one at a time. One at a time. Top 10 B.S.S. antagonists of all time. Our number 10 is Gilgamesh.
He deserves it.
I'm not gonna hold you though. That Fate Stay Night movie did him dirty, man. They did him so dirty in that movie.
You gotta watch the. Did you watch the regular Fate?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was like, because I watched it. So obviously me and Miles watched it once, and we literally passed out in the third movie. Then we watched it again the next night, and I was like, Miles, pause the damn movie. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, how do you as a writer write that for one of, if not the best villain of that
So
series?
I'll tell you exactly why. So Fate, they based the shows based off the video, because the video game's like an RPG, like MMO or whatever. It's like one of the biggest things in Asia.
Well, before you go down this, because I know this is going to be a long explanation, because I know exactly what you're going to say. Ty, answer this question.
Why you hate? When I said I don't hate Bleach, this is so confusing.
You will not gaslight me, chat.
Like this is. I just was saying what I liked about Ukiura. Like I just said that 5 minutes. Wait, no, 2 minutes ago. This is so crazy. This is you know what's so crazy is that people were saying, which J-Rob agreed with me. This stemmed from people saying that they had Aizen, their gold villain. I was like, he's not my gold villain. And then I got killed for it. And then I explained it. And then everyone agreed with me. Everyone on this panel agreed with I said.
You were mean.
Everyone agreed with me.
You were mean.
Y'all all agreed.
No. What the context is? While he was saying it, he was being a bully about it. Like whatever random things Bakugo is, that's what Ty did with the whole Aizen argument. It was the same thing.
Context, let me tell the context, right? J-Rob came with a lot of energy. So you gotta match J-Rob energy, bro. Y'all know that. I had to match his energy, and then he agreed with me. Matter of fact, before we started the show, the B.S.S, he literally gave a concession speech before the debate. I don't know, man.
Well, Sauce said he was gaslighting you, so I guess it worked.
W gaslighting. But go ahead, Lonnie. Finish.
That's why he's the top villain in the Discord. No, like I was explaining with Gilgamesh. So the game has multiple options. So like for instance, if you go with this girl, it goes like with the whole stay unlimited blade works. Then if you go with the purple, I forget her name, the purple hair girl, that's what
Sakura is Heaven's Feel.
Yeah. So like there's like different scenarios and shit like that, which leads to whatever.
Yeah. Rin is unlimited blade works. The original Fate Stay Night Saber, which sucks. And Sakura is Heaven's Feel for sure. The only I still don't like Fate Stay Night, the original one, but I gotta eventually get back into it.
I think they announced that Fate's coming back in early 2025.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that one shot episode that they did, I think it's based off of that series. So
you know, watching Fate Apocrypha made me really like Fate again, because I hated Fate Stay Night so much that I stopped, even though I really like Fate Zero, and I do like Unlimited Blade Works. So I might still be able to watch Heaven's Feel, because Sakura's story is depressing as hell. So we might have to lock in. But Gilgamesh number 10, I'm with it. Gilgamesh is a dog. In terms of aura, he has it. In terms of presence, he has it. In terms of impact, I mean, his impact is so great. He transitioned from the prequel to the main story. That's how great Gilgamesh is. He just said, "I'm gonna do what I want," and just stay in the story. And
also, I'm saying in terms of aura, like that one-shot episode that they dropped last year, it was just him fighting his best friend for shits and giggles, and they just decided, hey, let's just pour a crap ton of money on this.
Oh, that's what it was. Just him fighting. Because I saw a poster.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's like a mini preview for the Fate that's coming up in 2025.
It's just about Gilgamesh.
No, so it's like, people get resummoned and everything like that. Gilgamesh is there, and his best friend, who's like in one of the other Fate series, that you see them interact in that Fate series too. I forget. What's the latest Fate series going on? Is it Stay Order or something like that? I forget what it's called, but whatever.
Like the original canon.
Yeah, but it's Gilgamesh's best friend, and they go at it, and they have like a little mini battle just for fun, and that's like the one-shot episode for the future series.
Bro, also Gilgamesh has one of my favorite like villain abilities in like anime. Period. Like his what is it called? Is it Babylon? Is that his ability? Is that
Yeah,
Babylon, and not just like the ultimate weapon. That's kind of meh, but the ability to just summon weapons whenever you want to use against you. I think that's so fire. I think that's such an amazing ability.
I think he'll like his best friend too.
Oh, I'm locked in. Gilgamesh is fire. Gilgamesh is fire. So I think top 10 deserve. I think top 10. All right. Let's get to number 9. Number
Madara
Uchiha is number 9. What are our thoughts? Random, you may want to mute because this is going to be spoilers.
If he didn't start over, he would have been at this point.
Hey, I still don't understand
What?
why he just didn't keep reading.
Oh yeah. I was like,
I think Madara has one of my favorite backstories from a villain. Like his whole thing with Hashirama was so tough, and it kind of added a bit of his only beef for Kishimoto is like the Uchiha disenfranchised. I just feel like they never truly got. I don't know. I still feel a little salty about it because it's like this man literally named the village. He saw the leaf in the hole. He said, "Let's call it the village King of the Leaves." He named it. He helped build it, and they get no credit for it. They get disenfranchised. They get discrimination, and they get ultimately wiped out. Matter of fact, they disrespected the treaty. They was like, "All right, we're gonna be equal," but it's like, wait, no, Uchiha can be on Hokage. Then Madara was like, got kicked out by his own people. They was like, yo, we try to make peace, and they still got mistreated. I was like, I wasn't really a fan of that. I wish there was something they could do about that, but they're all gone now, I guess.
Okay, Madara deserves a black card. I'm not gonna hold you.
It's nasty work, man. It's nasty.
Madara invited to the cookout.
And the conclusion is like, well, the Uchiha are kind of like naturally emotional, but I was like, hold on a second. Most characters in Naruto go through things, be was terrorizing the hood, bro. Gar was a real trap demon, bro.
Orochimaru didn't have parents. What happened?
Bro, I'm saying like the Akatsuki is full of niggas that are not Uchihas. So I just feel like that was kind of to me, it was a little off-putting to me, but overall, fantastic villain. W story.
I will say this in terms of aura. Madara hits the battlefield and people start praying.
That's crazy.
People are crying, praying. If I try to think of like my top 10 favorite Naruto moments, Madara probably has like half the spots, or he's involved in like half the spots. So yeah, he's definitely he's probably my favorite Naruto character, if not like number 2. But yeah, I don't know. He's aura personified.
I'm with you. I really do like Madara. I really wish the only reason why he's not higher on the list for me, on my personal list, I'm sorry, but it's the Black Zetsu moment. It just ruined it. It just ruined Madara, man.
Because remember, Kishimoto took 2 weeks off because he did not know how to kill off Madara. He literally said that. He said he did not know. He said he was struggling. He had writer's block. He didn't know. He said he felt he made Madara too strong. He didn't know how to write himself out of defeating Madara. and that's when he brought back in Kaguya into the story.
And the way he did it was so awful.
Ass.
Oh man, if Madara had a better ending, bro.
I always question that though, because it's like, if he said, "Well, Madara's too strong," but then why bring in Kaguya, who's more powerful? That to me, I don't know if
that's because they were able to steal her. They didn't like kill her; they sealed her.
But you could have learned
why
the
not?
skill and just sealed Madara.
That's what I was just about to say. What's the difference of sealing Madara?
I didn't take 2 weeks off. Ask Kishimoto how we came up with that.
Nah, I guess maybe you couldn't seal Madara. I don't know, but that to me makes me think like, because there were seeds of Kaguya, not many. I don't think it had the best build up. I would say, because it does make sense, but you could just argue that it wasn't. We were here for Madara. You know what I'm saying? Like that was what we were here for. So
a theory. I think he had Kaguya. I think Kaguya's story is supposed to be in Boruto. I feel like, and then because I think he was planning Boruto with the whole Otsutsuki. I think like Kaguya, because like she's so connected to the Otsutsuki and like them showing up. I think like she was supposed to probably be the beginning of the Boruto series and stuff like that. So that's what I think.
Yeah, you need it because Boruto's surrounded by Otsutsuki, so you need that introduction. But
fair. But Madara is fantastic. He deserves that hype. Random, come back. All right, let's go to number 8.
All right, here we go.
Envy, number 8 from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. What do we think about Envy being this high? Top 10 villain, top 10 antagonist.
I'll probably bump Envy down. I love Full Metal. My favorite. I'll probably bump Envy down just a little bit, maybe like top 25-ish, probably.
Same. I don't know. How did Envy get to 8?
I can tell you who
J-Rob has her at 8 right now.
So Envy was my number 9, my number 2019. It was Ty's top 30, Miles top 30, Santo top 40 for Lonnie, and then J-Rob had her. So the fact that we all had him on a list and J-Rob had her so high in terms of top 10 brought her all the way up here.
Yeah, random had her at 11 too.
I think it's
and random had her 11. So Envy had everybody on the list, and it had people like really high on some people's list.
That's why I brought her up. Okay.
Yeah. So it brought Envy like way up. And go ahead. I'll let you talk.
What? Huh? I'll keep going.
Oh, I thought you were about to say something.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah. I thought you were about to say something about Envy. I mean, I really like Envy, to be honest. I think Envy's story was really good. Envy was super hateable, terrible portion, but the story, it personified Envy perfectly, obviously, in terms of who Envy is. And then the ending of Envy was surprisingly very wholesome. We found out he was envious of humans, and Ed made Envy realize that. And obviously that final moment, I mean, Envy was the catalyst of the most sad moment in the beginning of the series with Maze, and then one of the most savage moments with Roy Mustang. Envy's fire. Envy's character did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Not only that, Envy pretty much set off the Ishvalan War by transforming into a human and shooting the Ishvalan child.
That's true.
Envy did a lot in Full Metal. Envy was monitoring Marco's experiments. Envy did a lot. Like, we even got it was one of the moments when they end up Envy absorbing Ed and Ling, and us like learning more about the portals. And Envy was used also to make half of Xerxes. That's why they had the Xerxes ruins inside of Envy, and Ed figured out how to turn himself into a philosopher's stone was because the ruins of Xerxes were there, and that gave us that was fire foreshadowing. Because when remember when Father was with Hohenheim, Father was like, half of the people and Xerxes used for me, half were for you. Now we know that a piece of that half, because he separated himself, was because Envy ended up getting absorbed along inside Gluttony. So that's why that was fire. A lot of stuff in Envy.
Yeah, Envy's great. I'm not mad at it. Random, you had her the highest. What do you think? What are you talking about, Envy?
I mean, for a lot of my list is how the people I put made me feel. So maybe it wasn't more about what their actual feats are, just how they made me feel. And Envy's one of those. I just refuse to put Rachel on my list. For instance, I just refuse to put her on my list. But
How
Envy
high?
was just
How high is Makima?
she's pretty high. But look, Makima did something. Me and you just
You
categorically.
said how they made you feel, so I was like, oh, she must be.
Yeah,
pretty
me
high
and you
then.
just categorically just disagree on Makima to the point. I think Makima just done something that we don't need to talk about that. But Envy was just one of those where like every time I was like, this motherfucker again. Like, can somebody just take this motherfucker out, please? Like, just somebody just do it. And I just thought it's just one of those where everybody on my list that I have, I either felt like I really sympathize with them. Like, for instance, I had Haku at 10. I really sympathize with them, or I fucking hated them in terms of being the villain. So I hated Envy from every single moment they're on screen. Like a lot of y'all, the same way people felt about Yuji
Mahito?
walking down Mahito was the same way I felt every time Mustang snapped. I'm like, nah, snap again. I was like Lonnie, snap it again. Nah, keep going. I don't care. I don't care what happens. Keep going. Keep going. I laughed, catharsis. I walked out. I probably smoked a cigarette after that scene. Like it just was right. And I was like, Mustang, keep going, bro. If they could have made the whole episode just him snapping at Envy and burning her alive, I would have been locked in the whole time.
When Envy died, you threw some on the grill.
Yeah. Shit. But if I had my grill at that point, I'm like, yeah, let's go ahead and cook
Oh
something
my
up. Let's go ahead and
God.
celebrate. Like I couldn't stand Envy. Could not stand.
Nah, Envy's great. With that said, let's move on to our number 7 spot.
All right.
Number 7, Frieza makes the top 10. And just to put things into perspective, J-Rob, Miles, Ty, and Lonnie had Frieza top 10, Random had top 20, and Frieza didn't make my list. So Frieza
Did you
is
just
number
forget him,
7.
or you just didn't put him?
And
I'm not a
better
big fan of Frieza personally.
above Cell where he belongs. Because listen, man.
Hey man, I just like Cell's aura. I like his charisma. I like it.
It's based it's based on Frieza though. Like what charisma does he have that I would say that Frieza doesn't?
I think honestly, just being an anime, I think Cell presents better. I think Frieza has more depth than Cell,
Mhm.
but I just think in terms of aura, character design, just he just presents more menacing.
Bam, how do you have
Really?
Azula
More
over
Hey,
Zen?
and I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'll be completely honest with everybody. All those clips, you know, they're like the specific YouTube channel I think it's like Devil Artemis or something, dedicated to Cell skits and Cell game skits and Dragon Ball or Bridge. I mean, it helps, man. I'm not gonna lie.
We can't, yo, we using
Hey,
fandom.
hey.
Oh,
Cell
let's
does
not sit here and
that-
pretend like
Cell does
Frieza
that
didn't
other-
benefit from Abridged either.
Not nearly as much as
Frieza,
Cell.
how?
Not nearly as much as Cell.
Based on what?
Yeah,
I think the way Frieza is using it, obviously, I'm not here saying
Cell's voice, Cell skits.
yeah, I'm not saying that Cell and Frieza are on the same tier, but to act like Frieza didn't benefit from that, he also has very quotable lines in that thing.
yeah. The way I made
Oh,
my
he
list
pretty
was
good.
based off of like objective, like impact, how they made me feel. But it was mostly like what they did in the story and like how they affected the story and affected the protagonist. So I like Cell more than Frieza. I like Broly more than Frieza. I like a lot of villains more than Frieza, but in terms of like what he did to DBZ and how he affected DBZ, I had to put him top 10.
That's
based off
fine.
his
I mean,
character.
Frieza still ended up number 7.
Yeah.
I would say we never like. I think Frieza brought out the best in the 2 best characters in Dragon Ball, Goku and Vegeta. Consistently does. Like Vegeta, he brought Vegeta to tears. Not even before, not even when he was dying. When Vegeta did that blast, I think that's why the manga is so tough. When he did that blast and Frieza kickballed that shit to outer space. Literally, Toriyama puts a narration next to Vegeta saying, "This is the first time the Prince of All Saiyans ever felt fear and ever shed tears for the first time." A tough ass narration, like yo, like Vegeta literally, he made Vegeta give up hope and cry. We ain't never and literally beg a dude that he views as a lower class Saiyan because Vegeta had this whole thing of Goku like, you are a lower tier than me because Vegeta's whole idea is built off strength, and if I don't have that, like he knew he can never be like he. I think what the thing interesting about Vegeta is that he wants to feel superior over someone. He know he can't do it to Frieza, so that's why he bullies the Saiyans beneath him, right? And so now this whole superiority inferiority complex thing is built on the idea he can't surpass Frieza, so he has to bully people like Raditz and Nappa. He has to look down on Goku, right? So then this character that he could only look down on surpass, he had to beg him for help, right? We see Goku. King Kai said this nigga was acting out of character. He's like, this isn't Goku anymore. After Frieza packed up Krillin, I just feel like we get the best out of him, like the fulfilling this whole legend of a Super Saiyan coming back and defeating Frieza, the whole legacy behind that. What he meant to Goku Vegeta's parents, to me, that's more like it was more epic to me. Like this dude destroyed a race because he was afraid of a prophecy. The prophecy comes true by the lowest class Saiyan. The irony behind it, the epicness behind it, to me is just too much. It's just too much, bro.
I'm sorry. Like, and I'll say that I like Cell. I like Cell more than Frieza, but to me he's a front runner. He's like the ultimate front runner. As soon as shit hits the fan or he's at a disadvantaged situation, he's shitting his pants every time. So it's like I can't put him over.
It literally became a suicide bar. So wow.
He's always shitting his pants, bro. Like,
oh man, no, that's fair. But I mean, it's favorite list, so I had Cell above. Frieza's good, of course. Frieza still made top 7, so still worked out. Still worked out for Frieza. And no, I'm with you, Leroy. The English dub definitely helps Cell. You got a nice, smooth, deep, gentleman voice. You know what I'm saying? All right. With that said, Frieza number 7, I think, is warranted. Let's move on to our number 6.
All right. Oh God.
There he is, Sukuna, top 6 antagonists in anime. Let's just see who had him where. Let me J-Rob had him number 2. Random had top 10. Ty had him top 10. Santo had him like top 30. So did Lonnie. And then me and Miles had him top 50. So he's on everybody's list.
I can't talk about Sukuna. I'm still
that tattoo is losing aura by the minute.
Yo, I don't understand.
The tattoo is fire. The tattoo will always be fire. No matter what, it's gonna look good. Even people that don't know what JJK is, the tattoo looks nice.
Here's my question, right? Villains, we've seen so many villains get pathetic deaths, which they deserve, which the author they deserve that, so authors give it to
him.
He
did not deserve to go out like that, Ty. He did not.
Why not? Why not?
He did not deserve that, Ty.
Bro, we just talked about Cell, like literally, I'm blowing us all up. That's not pathetic.
That's pathetic. That's pathetic.
I think for me, sure, and that's something I will say. I will give Ty credit that he really showed me about that really prideful characters usually have pathetic deaths or whatnot. But I feel like it was very lackluster because it opened up so many other questions. Like we just talked about Envy, Cell, Frieza, like all of those have that culmination to where, it's satisfying. Sukuna doesn't have that, like at all.
At all.
So I guess wait, what do you mean from from their defeat? Like was that you mean
the defeat? It was, if you're, at least to me, if you're gonna go out pathetic, go out pathetic. Like Sukuna still had pride when he remember I'm still a curse. Mm-hmm. But then in the following chapter, it's like, okay, I could have chosen a better route and whatnot. It's like love conquers all type thing. Like it kind of diminishes that satisfaction of his death.
I agree.
But if the satisfaction, well, hold on a second. But if I guess the difference, but I guess, and hear me out, right? I think the difference between like a Frieza, because Frieza, when he tried to sneak Goku, that was pretty pathetic, right? Like he said, I'm the ultimate warrior. I don't care. We called him a monkey, racial slurs, all that, right? And he tried to, and then Goku said, "Are you an idiot?" and blasted this dude, right? To me, the difference between those characters, like they were trying to there was no trying to make them under, like Yuji was trying to touch his soul, like, that's through his ability. Like that to me, there was a chance to him trying to reach him. Goku was not trying to reach Frieza. So like and so like the story is trying to say that love can conquer all. Like Goku's story is not to say like that fight was not about love conquering all. Neither was Cell. So I think that that was the point of the fight. That's what the difference to me. Like it's kind of hard to compare the two because they're doing different things. So that's why I don't have an issue with it. If Frieza's story was about love conquering all and it didn't conquer it, I'd be like, well, that's not consistent thematically. But it's not about that. So that's why I don't have a problem with it. But
hey man, we'll agree to disagree. But Sukuna still ended up making the list. J-Rob had him the highest, of course.
Yeah, 2 is crazy. I'm sorry, 2 is crazy objective.
Random Ty had him. I mean, still made the top 50 on everybody's list.
Hey, y'all notice every time you see somebody that shouldn't be so high, you're like, oh, they still making a list.
Hey, they did still make the list. Hey, I'm gonna say, I mean, Sukuna dropped for me, obviously. I already said this. You know what's funny? I wish Miles was here because when we were having the conversation about Sukuna didn't live up to the expectation I have for him, and then Miles said he reached the expectation he had for him, we had him at the exact same ranking. That is hilarious at the end of the day. I wish Miles was here so we could talk about that because of considering how we both perceive Sukuna at the end of the day.
I was projecting that he was going to be like top 5 all time for me.
Yeah, I was projecting top 10s and all that stuff.
He still made my list, but it's like he definitely didn't reach that.
At least for me, like I didn't have him really high. It's because I got fatigue of he's not even in his final form yet in the manga. Like I got tired of it. I'm like how much more can he, like people were just getting wiped out. I'm like, okay, he's not even in his final form. I'm like,
yo, Santo, that just reminded me of something because Kenjaku had a second domain that he used or whatever, and like everyone's like, oh wait, some people can have 2 domains, and then like he also referenced that like, oh, Tengen and Sukuna probably also have a second domain. And so I was waiting. So that throughout that whole battle, I was like, yo, watch, Sukuna's gonna drop that second domain, and it just never happened.
Well, before we get into a JJK tangent again, random, you also had him like top 10. Why'd you stick with Sukuna being top 10?
I understand that I may have liked for his ultimate final end. Like my only big thing about is I wish we had maybe a chapter to see him go through the process where he ends up like, yeah, maybe I could have chosen another path. But I think everything he was like he lived his life the way he wanted to. He was a fucking monster, just whooping ass, like didn't care. Like even his aura, like little Escanorish when Jogo's trying to talk to him, he's like, who the fuck are you to talk to me? Like I obviously his aura, the way he carries himself, the way the world reacts to his presence, the fact that the Shibuya arc, like iconic, especially once it reached TV screens. I just think for me personally, how he made me feel, he was top 10. He was top 10.
Fair enough. All right, let's go to our next one. I think top 5.
Like a baddie would. Never mind. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it on here.
You're the one who got. Yeah, you're the one who got his tat on you, bro. I don't hear that.
Oh,
thanks.
and the ladies.
He got a top 30 villain on his body. It's crazy.
All right, here we go.
Johan Liebert. He almost was lower, but some of you guys spelled it with a Y, and I caught it. I was like, "Oh, you guys still had Johan on it." I think I'm the only one who didn't have him on his list because I haven't seen Monster. But for the most part, most people had him top 10 or top 20. So, Johan, thoughts?
I think I'm assuming I had him the highest.
I think I had him at 2.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
2? No. I can't remember.
To me, Johan is the perfect villain. I feel like, and when I say perfect, not like he's the greatest, but he's the most well-rounded villain. If I could be any anime character without powers, I would be Johan. I would do so much work. Oh my! If I could, the work I could do as Johan would be yo.
Any anime character without powers?
Yo, if I could have,
got
if
it,
I could
bro.
have like
You
their
got it.
intellect / abilities without powers, like just their intellect, I choose Johan.
Don't you remember he convinced those kids to jump off a building?
Yeah, imagine what I could do. Never mind, I'm not even gonna say it.
Are you gonna dress up like your sister?
Please think carefully.
Like your sister on a date?
Like, come on, bro.
Hey, I'd have the world in the palm of my hands. But no, Johan to me,
You pick other people and be better. They're better choices.
I don't think so. We just agree to disagree.
I'd rather be Fyodor, but I guess he has.
No, but you haven't seen Monster. No, but Johan to me, he's like when I say he's perfect, like he has no holes in terms of his villainy. Like he's evil personified intellectually, though. He's not like Kid Buu, where Kid Buu's just like crash out that just wants to destroy everything. No, he is meticulous, he's analytical, and he has no holes in terms of his personality, in terms of his thinking, in terms of his execution. He's perfectly well-rounded. So yeah, to me, he's the best antagonist of all time because he's objectively a perfect villain.
I agree.
Sure, man, but
big question for people who've seen Monster: Johan or Joker?
Johan.
Wait,
Which version
are you
of the
saying?
Joker?
Yes. This is my problem with comics. It's like there's so many
Yeah,
versions.
which
It's like,
version?
Yeah. So out of 389 versions of Joker, which one are you talking about?
yes.
I would say Johan, regardless of whatever version of Joker you bring up, because I think he can blend in with society better than Joker can.
Facts.
Like who's like? Are we asking who's like a better villain?
Yeah, who's a better villain and who's a better character?
I would say this: Johan is Joker, but calm.
Yeah,
Johan is Joker. Johan is Riddell Joker.
He's
right. No emotion Joker.
No emotion Joker. No emotion Joker.
No feelings Joker. Nonchalant Joker.
Because he'll do
I
the
don't
most
care
heinous
Joker.
things imaginable, Riddell, with a straight face, not a care in the world. That's why it's called Monster, because he is evil personified, but he has no there's no emotions behind it.
Okay, so
right, I need
okay. So I'm gonna be on Riddell's side on this one, just for shits and giggles.
I have no side. I haven't seen Johan.
No. I'm gonna ask a question. What's the difference between Johan and Makishima?
Purpose.
Yeah, I mean, Makishima is only doing this to. Maybe Johan is to kind of go through the flaw of humanity. So I don't know, but Makishima obviously is doing what he's doing to show a flaw in the system. So he has some intentionality behind what he's doing, and obviously he also has an invested interest in a very particular individual too. And I actually didn't finish like that part about it, why he's doing it with this one guy he wants to face off against. I think he wants him to beat him for. That goes into a whole villain philosophy to find like this specific individual to beat you, kind of similar to Stain in My Hero Academia. But I agree, Lonnie. Purpose. Very simple.
The fact that Johan, not that he doesn't have purpose, but the fact that he lacks purpose for a lot of the reasons why he does some of the things, and the fact that some of the cruelest things he does is just to see if he can do it. Just to see, can I make this person do a backflip off a bridge? I'm just gonna pick a random person in the street. That person. Let me see if I can just make him do a backflip. Oh, I can, because I'm him. He's goated. Like he has no holes in his game.
Ty, thoughts?
He's the definition of evil, and the face that Rand's making is proving my point. He is so evil. Just for the sake of
the only reason I'm shaking my head is because you want to be that.
That's what you would have picked. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You want to walk up to a random person by the Washington Monument and say, "Can I get this guy to climb the monument and jump off?" That's so weird.
Did they cut me off that day or something?
I don't understand. Like, no, I'm not saying Johan's a bad villain. I'm not saying that at all. I just think you trying to be that is weird.
Random's gonna pray for you.
I'm not trying to be him.
You just said 2 minutes ago. If you could be one character without powers, that's who you'd pick.
He did say one villain.
Skills are top tier. He literally can do whatever he wants. Random. He literally does whatever he wants.
Before we stay on this tangent, I need to hear from Ty, Johan or Joker. You're a part of this.
Better villain. I would say I might say I haven't read enough Batman comics. I'm gonna say Johan. I haven't read enough Batman comics or Batman. I've seen a lot of Batman's TV shows, but I'll probably say Johan. Better character. I would also probably say Johan because if I'm comparing, like, again, if you take them all encompassing, you can, stir in a pot and make the ultimate Joker. But individually, I don't think I've seen a Joker better than Johan. Like an individual Joker. I don't think I have, but
that's good enough for that clip. Hey man, we know exactly what we're trying to do. Gotta
lock in.
All right, Johan, I think it deserves number top 5, B.S.S. top 5, and that's with me not putting him on the list. So he would have been higher, I'm sure. Number 4, Pain is number 4 on this list. Random, lock in because Pain is him. Pretty much everybody had him, other than Random, since he hasn't met Pain yet. Everybody had him top 10. Me and Santo had him top 20. So Pain is absolutely him in every sense of the word. I don't think we should need to go too depth because we want to keep Random here. But just to let you know, Pain is number 4 on our list. So that's why we want you to get to Shippuden. I don't know about all this recapping. You need to get to Shippuden and meet Pain.
Rana, can you just go back to where you were? Like,
yeah.
You gotta meet Pain, bro.
You read the Land of Waves for the fourth time. Like, this is time to move on, friend.
Yo, he said this at the perfect time. Random just don't want to finish the hard
facts.
We just out here slandering, bro. I just
random.
Catching up. I'm reading as fast as Lonnie actually wants me to read now. Now we got a problem.
Random, stop. You've reread your favorite arc. Now go back to where you were, please. Like,
I'll be there in a few chapters.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, let's go to number 3. No need to stay too much on it. Let's do number 3. Askeladd, the Mad Lad from Vinland Saga, is number 3.
Well deserved.
He's so good, bro.
He is. God, he's a great character.
Yeah.
Even though, like, he's not an antagonist in the current story, he's more like a mentor, like a frame of reference. I still count it. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I really struggled because I was like, is he an antagonist? I feel like he still is. To Thorfinn, he's an antagonist, regardless if he's mentoring him.
He's one of those antagonists that you like low key root for.
No, I'm saying like once he's like, I'm sure everybody's caught up or at least watched the anime, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming like once he died and once Thorfinn is having all these revelations, like even like in the next saga, I don't know if y'all call him the saga, but I'm like 15 chapters behind. The next arc, the Baltic Sea arc, like there's times where he references things that Askeladd told him. So like it's more, he's basically another Thor's for him now. So like he's not even an antagonist, but those still work so well for his overall character, even if he's not an antagonist,
That's an interesting point you brought in terms of like, can a perception of this character change after they're no longer technically in the story? Because I agree in terms of after Thorfinn's perception changes, Askeladd stops being necessarily an antagonist in his mind.
Remember the whole Valhalla? He's like, this is Valhalla, this is hell. And he was like, yo, go be a warrior. He's not an antagonist anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Askeladd's one of the people where I go through the whole gamut of emotions. At first, you hate him. You hate the shit out of him. Obviously, he traps Thor's, right? And then I'm just like, Thor, come on, bro. And then at one point, I'm like, he's trying to teach you something, Thorfinn, and you're not listening to him. And I'm getting mad. And then at one point, when you realize how smart he is in that, he's trying to work with the king. He's trying to, I don't know if manipulation or trying to use his plan to protect Wales from the king of Norway. And then eventually he gets caught. And at the end, when he fucking dies, and I'm like, not this way, man.
I was
not
mad.
this way. Like Thorfinn needs his get back for real. And he never got it.
And he would have never been a warrior if he did.
And it's great. And even in the second season, when you see him when Thorfinn's going through his thing, and the whole time I'm like, he would be the one motherfucker sitting on top of the pillars watching everybody else kill themselves and fight, and he's sitting because he got to tell Thorfinn one last thing before he jumps in and jumps into the fray. Like he's just like, I was like, I fucking hate that I like you. That's how I feel about Askeladd. I hate that I like you because I should absolutely hate him. He basically ruined Thorfinn's life. The early part of his life, he ruined it.
Not intentionally.
Yes, intentionally. He killed
What are we
Thor.
talking about?
He wasn't trying to ruin the kid's life.
Yeah, I mean his intention. I guess his intention was let me ruin this kid's life, but intention only matters to the culprit.
Like there's so many mixtures of emotions I feel with him. Like I hated him for the way he defeated Thor's, to he's mentoring the kid to where he dies, and the same way I tell you I want Carlos to get his get back in your manga is the same way I feel about him dying without getting his get back too. He's doing all of this to protect his people. I'm like, bro, you're giving me too much emotions, man. I want to hate you, but I like you. I respect you. I hate you, but God, you're great.
That's the sounds of a great character. You feel everything.
Facts. I mean, you have said all that needs to be said. Askeladd's fantastic. He is. Everybody had him top 10 for the most part. J-Rob had him top 40-ish.
Wow.
In random, I don't think you. No, you did.
No, I had him.
You had him top 20-ish.
I had top 20.
Everybody respected Askeladd, man. Everybody respected Askeladd.
Number 3.
All right. Number 2, which surprised me, he was number 2, and this was high. King Bradley was our second favorite antagonist of all time.
I don't think he'd be that high.
Yeah, I'll put him in the top 10. Maybe not number 2, but top 10. Like I think Bradley's fire.
Yeah,
he has
fire.
Yeah,
I mean, I had him top 10. Random had him top 10. Ty had him top 10. Miles had him top 10. And J-Rob had him top 20. Santo had him top 20. Lonnie had him top 20. So he's either top 10 or top 20 on someone's list. That is why he's so high.
I do want to hear like everyone's like top 3 or 4 on the list after this. After we talk about one.
You'll be able to see here in a second.
No, for sure. King Bradley, man, yeah, he's my favorite antagonist in FMA. Him,
screams him.
Absolutely.
Himothy, him to the highest power. Other him notions you can say he's him.
You want to talk about a villain winning in depth? It was like Lon Fawn was like, man, did you love anybody? I said, listen, man, my life was great. I was a king.
yeah.
I had a baddie. I ruled the world, man. You tripping? I'll see y'all on the other side. Hope y'all make it.
It was so crazy seeing him fight and then seeing his home life. I was like, who is this person?
You know, it was such a funny scene where Ed and Al were at his house. He was like, "What's wrong?" This is when after he had the whole meeting with Mustang and Elric was like about like, yeah, I'm a homo because you ain't gonna do shit about it though. Yeah, I'm evil, but y'all not gonna do shit about it. So then there was at his crib. He was like, "What's wrong, Elric? Y'all, I got a family too. What's like?" He was playing such mind games with them. It was like, y'all think I had a family? And also his my bad. I was gonna say real quick, his homunculus reveal. Beautiful. Like when he's fighting greed, he was like, "Oh, I could see past. I got the ultimate eye." I was like, "Whoa, tough reveal."
Tough.
It's so. If I was creating a badass king character, it's Bradley. Absolutely, Bradley. Everything he did, he's a similar character. Everything he did on scene was, interesting, enjoyable, aura personified. This guy, like Ty said, especially the moment we find out he's a bad guy. Everything he does from then in terms of politics, in terms of how he interacts with his family, in terms of how he interacts with the enemies, everything was calculated, cold. It was menacing. It's like there's nothing I can do about it. And how much it took to beat Bradley, like they had to pull out all the stops to take this dude down. And he's just doing it with 2 swords. Just 2 swords. Dude was a savage, bro. Absolutely.
You know something else? Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Lonnie.
No, I don't have anything to say.
Oh, my bad. I was about to say one last thing. I think what I like most about it's kind of interesting thing when like certain villains are revealed early on, because I like, in some cases I enjoy it, because kind of with Makima too, like even if we didn't know she was a villain, you kind of knew based on how she was written that something's off about her. I love how that gives so much tension to certain scenes, and like there's a lot of dramatic irony where like any given character in a scene, it doesn't really know what Bradley is, so it creates so much tension that some characters are aware, some characters aren't. And that dramatic irony of like we know he's a bad guy as an audience, but like the characters are so unaware, so it gives any given scene tension. Like, is he gonna kill this person? What is he gonna do? Because we know and they not, and they're unaware, which keeps him off balance and gives him the advantage, which makes him seem more menacing and more of a threat. I just think that's fire. So I kind of like it sometimes when villains are revealed kind of early.
No, I'm with you. I just remember that scene when like Maze Hughes dies and they're at the funeral and his family's crying and Wrath is like stuttering, and then you find out, yeah, I was just super angry that they were crying. I was holding back from taking their life. I'm like, bro, this dude's a savage, bro. Bradley's him. With that said, number one is no surprise. Honestly, not at all. It's Griffith. Like, that's not a surprise at all. He's number one.
I mean,
simply put, the greatest antagonist of all time. The Eclipse is, I mean, come on, man.
You know what? I said earlier about like moments that like resonate with the audience. Griffith's bag is really deep. You have the Eclipse. You like when he says guts, you're the only person maybe speak about a dream, but then he was like sacrifice, crazy. The freaking him and Guts' first second duel when Guts one tapped him. I think that was iconic. You have the scene with Charlotte. I feel like he just has so many like goated scenes.
Even in the manga now, when he transfers into Moonlight, when Moonlight Boy becomes him, and he just takes Costco away. After everything we've been through, he just takes her away, man. And I'm like, come on, man. He just stays winning.
When he pulled up on Guts after the Eclipse, no, not after the Eclipse. Like when they met for the first time after the Eclipse
in the Black Swordsman arc.
No, the
Conviction arc?
Oh, the Conviction
arc. The graveyard there. What the fuck?
On the Hill of Swords.
Yeah, when they met on the Hill of Swords, I was just like,
he's hit like, fuck, man. And the worst part was in the Golden Age arc. Like, I loved him, bro. Hey, you understand? The man took some sacrifices, man. He gave up the booty at one point to make sure his band was safe. He gave it up. He was doing what he needed to do, and when he even though when he crashes out in front of Casca in the pond or whatever it was, I fully believe we're just doing that to manipulate her some more, right? And then
honestly crashing out.
I mean, sure, let's go with that. The problem is I could see both ways. And then when he it's just like, it's so crazy, and I understand we explained it, but like he would have been fine if he just stayed himself. He would have been fine. Oh yeah, Guts gonna come back. I'm gonna make him come back by showing whatever and he would have been fine. We're taking over the kingdom. He would legitimately had his kingdom. He really would have, if he just kept doing what he was doing. We saw how he was politically, how he's a menace on the battlefield. Like, he was great. Oh God, man. He's only technically lost once in the series? He lost once. Yeah. And he destroyed the world. That's what he did. He destroyed the world the one time he lost.
Griffith is him. I mean, pretty much all of us had him number one. Lonnie had him number two, and J-Rob had him lower on. But yeah, I mean, you said all that needs to be said. Not much to say when it comes to Griffith. Griffith is him, man. Griffith is him. That is him. And this is our top 10 list. You can see, of course, for top 10. Lonnie wanted to see it. Miles and Ty have the same top three. Lonnie almost has the same top three, but Freeze is a little bit lower. Random also has almost the same top three. Griffith and Johan pretty much is a lot of y'all top three.
Oh, you had Eisen number two, Riddell. Interesting.
Eisen, all aura. In terms of if I'm creating an aura antagonist, bro, I need them to have as much aura as Eisen. I'm not gonna lie. Eisen, everything he does is just aura. I need an aura antagonist.
Goofy, Frieza. Did I have Dofi the highest?
You had Dofi top 10.
Dang.
I think I'm the only one who had Geen and Sinbad on his list. Geen is fire. I love Geen from Bleach. I love everything what he did.
I'm not gonna lie. I was very surprised not to see Lad Russo in y'all's list.
I like Lad Russo, but not that much.
Yeah, I didn't think you would have Shigaraki that high either, Santo.
I think he's fantastic. I like his you know what it is? I think is what really sold me was the depth of his character, saying that I'm the hero of the villains. Like that moved me.
Fair. I like the Shigaraki the most in My Hero, so I'm not mad at it.
I mean, damn, bro. What a list.
It was
J-Rock's list is atrocious. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh dang!
Miles had Enrico Pucci. You really like that JoJo's Part 6 villain. And Kiri Kotamine. But before we head out,